evening, everybody in the Start Now community. I'm so excited to be chatting to you tonight. It's a long overdue live interview. We've been so busy as a team doing our own projects, but myself and Haggai wanted to come on and just give you something that you can take away tonight that's going to help you move forward, or even just take that first step in your business. So just while I'm waiting for Haggai to come online, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So my name is Michelle Vodden of michellevodden.com, and my background is about 12 years ago, I went into traditional business. So I set up a dance model and events agency. Absolutely loved that because I came from the dance and music industry after working in London, and I wanted to create something in the north of England that duplicated what was happening down there. Saw a niche in the market and started to build that. So I would supply models, dancers, promotional staff, and actually choreograph and create events too. I absolutely loved that. Having a traditional business can be tough. It takes a big investment of your time and also money, and also just having to constantly learn and grow. But I took so much away from that I'm now using. So everything changed for me. Life changed. I became a mum. I'm a mum of 3 now, with number 4 on the way. And so I needed to take a different direction just because my priorities changed. So I moved into social marketing, and I am the founder of the Mumpreneur movement. So I work primarily with parents or people that are going to become parents that just want to get some time back, because I wanted to create more of a residual asset for me and my family so I could have that quality time. So that's where I am now. And it's been so amazing to collaborate with the Start Now team, because we all have such different backgrounds, but it's about surrounding yourself with like-minded people. So we really want to chat to you tonight about courage over confidence. And this is something that I have been speaking to a lot of my business partners and clients a lot recently, because it's one of those big things that holds us back, isn't it? So we really wanted to chat to you. So if anyone can hear me coming through, give me some hearts or comments. Let us know where you're watching from. If you're watching the replay, give us a hashtag replay. And just make sure you use this group, this team of people. We are here to serve you. So if any of this resonates with you, then reach out to us, drop us a comment, drop us an inbox, and I'm sure between the 4 of us and our different backgrounds and experiences, we can just help you overcome those limiting beliefs or blockages that you've got holding you back currently in your business. So one moment, I'm just going to see if we can bring Haggai online. Okay, he's not popping up just yet, but Haggai, if you're on, you can request to come on screen, or I can bring you on myself. I'll wait for you to pop up in the comments. So I'll just start really and wait for Haggai to come on. So courage over confidence. This is such a big thing. I am guessing because you are following this page, either you are already established in your business, or you're thinking about taking that next step and starting your own business. And something I hear all the time is, I just don't have the confidence. So we really wanted to cover this tonight, and I'm sure me and Haggai have got some different views on this. Let's see if I can bring Haggai on. No, I can see you're there, but it's not letting me just yet. So I'll get started. So the first thing I would say is you just need courage. Courage always comes first. Confidence comes much later. Once you start taking action towards starting your business or taking your business to the next level, the action will help you become more competent. And when we become more competent, the confidence grows from there. So be really careful that you are not comparing the beginning of your journey to someone's highlight reel that's highly successful. Yes, take inspiration from that, study what they do, what are their daily practices, what has got them to where they are, but please don't compare yourself. Comparing yourself is just going to put judgment on yourself and stop you taking action. It can almost paralyze you. So take the action first, become competent, and then the confidence comes later. So stop comparing is one of my biggest points. The next thing is personal development. This is something you will hear me talk about in a lot of our interviews, and it is absolutely everything. Anyone who's highly successful in their field will have a daily practice. And often when you see someone's highlight reel, maybe on social media or on their Instagram and Facebook, you are seeing the results of their actions, but you're not seeing what they do day to day behind doors. So personal development splits into two sections. So the first section is working on your industry, on your craft. So always bettering yourself. What are you going to bring to the table that no one else is? And also just being yourself. Admire other people that are really successful in your field, but be yourself, because when you're truly authentic, that really shows up to your clients and other people that you want to work with. So there's no other you but you. So use that to your advantage and just know that you are enough to make this work. So definitely working on your industry, studying it, getting better, doing courses. It can be free online courses, reading books. I do so much reading. I think if you can do 10 pages a day of a book in your industry or get an audiobook, it takes 10,000 hours to master anything. So anything in life, it takes 10,000 hours. So just know that it's going to take time, but a little bit every day is going to put you onto that success curve. So the success curve basically is, what you do every single day. It may not show results in the first few weeks, even the first few months. But if you are doing the do and you're growing as a person, you're getting better at your industry, at your business skills, your people skills, then you are generally going to head up on that success curve over time. And it may take time. Growing a business, becoming an entrepreneur, you have to leave the right now gratitude behind. That has to go. You need to have that vision for the future and just be willing to do the do now, whether the results are showing up or not. And that can be hard if you've always been employed, but really try and grasp that. And again, if you're not taking any action day to day, then the chances are that you're putting yourself on that failure curve. And I don't believe in the word failure at all. See if Haggai's here yet. Can't see you yet, Haggai. Let me know when you get on. But yeah, I don't believe in failure. I think you learn through that, but you are going to put yourself on that failure curve. So daily growth on your industry and mindset, I'll also speak about as well. I think I see what the problem is, Haggai. We are both admins on this page, and it's not letting me add you as yourself. So, don't you just love technology? So maybe it's definitely not going to let me add you because we're both page admins. You learn, don't you, as you go along. Let me see if this is going to work. Oh, hang on. He's here. Here we go. Starting to panic for a second there. Okay, so Haggai should be on any second. So just to kind of finish off what I was saying, the second part is working on your mindset. And Haggai will back me up on this. Your mindset is everything that happens in your business, good or bad. It's what's going on up here between your ears. You're going to keep yourself in the game or you're going to take yourself out of the game. So I love development. Yes, woo! I was getting a bit lucky then.
You're up.
Oh, are you on daddy duty? Congratulations.
I am on that. Well, I was actually just trying to sort a few things out, and it won't let me log in. So I've had to sort of use a different phone and whatever to sort of join in. So yeah, good stuff.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Oh, it's so good
How's
to
it
have
going?
you on. So I've just been chatting away for a few minutes. So Haggai, do you want to tell our viewers, if there's anyone that's brand new to Start Now, who you are, what your background is,
Yeah.
and your thoughts on the topic?
Okay. Basically, I run Habit Business, which is HABBY business. Make sure you check it out, people. Basically the business is I basically started the business from nothing, so it stems from myself losing my brother, and then obviously turning into something that is sort of a crusade struck business. And the idea of today really is to, I know you've probably already touched on this, is to just talk about some of the tips that we've shared, experienced in terms of setting up, running your own business. If you're thinking, if you've got some ideas, you know, there might be some people watching this and they actually either have their own business or they are thinking of starting something up soon. And it's like, well, Michelle, Haggai, what do I need to do? How have you guys done it? So I'm hoping we might be able to shed some light with that. So, and that's where we was going to talk about sort of the courage and confidence, and obviously the differences with that, that sort of thing. So, yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. So just before you hopped on, I was talking about I personally feel that confidence, it can come later. We can wait forever to feel confident. And definitely, I always see, you know, action comes first, then you'll become competent, and then the confidence comes later. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Haggai.
Yeah, so talking about confidence, so confidence is hi, John Burr. Love to see you. Welcome, welcome. Confidence is basically about a feeling. It's about a belief. So if you say I'm confident, it's basically saying that I believe I'm able to lift that weight. Okay, I believe I'm able to lose weight. So that's confidence. You've got the confidence. You've got the belief. If you've sometimes heard it referenced to, I've got confidence in Michelle. Okay, so that means people have got they believe in you that you're able to do whatever it is that they think you know you're able to do. Whereas courage, it's more about more than just a belief system, more than just a trust system. So courage is more about the ability to do. So it's about taking action. So when you've got courage, you're still fearful. So it's a courage. So it's the ability to do something that you're fearful of doing. That is courage. So for example, I was watching on the news the other day. I think it was Will Smith's birthday, 50th birthday, and he had the courage to jump out of the helicopter for his 50th birthday. So the point is,
Wow.
he was actually fearful of jumping, but he still went on and did it because he had the courage. Okay, so that's the difference. So he had the confidence in the sense that he believed he could potentially jump out of that helicopter for his birthday, but it took courage to actually, so it's the ability to actually go on and get into that helicopter and then 3, 2, 1, jump and do it. And that's my take on it. And so some people that we're probably talking to today, a lot of them will either have confidence, some may not have confidence. So they might be looking at it and says, look, I've always wanted to do something. I've got some amazing ideas, or I've always wanted to be my own boss or work for myself, but I'm not really confident. And that's okay. And then there's some people that might be naturally people who are just confident, you know, for whatever reason, or they've had to develop that skill or competence of confidence, and that's great. But everybody needs courage. Okay, so you can either have confidence and or you cannot have confidence, but you will still need courage to achieve or to have a goal, as it and dreams that you want to achieve in your life, your vision of success as it is.
I love that. I love how our minds think alike as well, but how you explain things is fantastic. I need to get on Will Smith's Instagram and watch that.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Um,
Check him out, definitely.
yeah, I love him. And he's got so much amazing stuff on YouTube as well, on
Yeah,
mindset, hasn't he?
yeah,
I totally agree with that. I hear all the time, I would love to do what you do, but I just don't have the confidence. And it's absolutely fine because neither did I, but I definitely had courage and a fire in my belly. And I think that's, you know, what's got me started and to where I am. But usually I think if someone's worried
I
and they're
can
not
relate.
feeling confident, it's like one of two things usually. So either they haven't got the confidence in themselves, so that lack of self-belief, or they haven't got the confidence in what they're doing in their
Yeah.
trade or their craft or whatever that business is. So it's just getting to work on that, isn't it? But taking that first step, and that's what this page is all about.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, by the way, if you're watching this, feel free to ask questions or clarities about certain things that we are talking about. So we want to make it as interactive as possible. Please do share the link as well so that we can capitalize on as many people that you think might benefit from this chat with lovely Michelle. Love it.
Been looking forward to this all day. I thought when you logged on and you'd have some music booming out and a bit of dancing going on for us.
You know, I thought about it. I thought about it, but I thought I don't want to scare people first of all. Let me introduce myself first, and then
Yeah,
moving
maybe
forward,
next time
definitely
we'll
have
do
to
that.
do
We'll have a
IPC.
boogie. Yeah. Sorry, there's a bit of a delay. Something else I was thinking about today as well is definitely it's who you surround yourself, isn't it? Because if you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people, then that is going to bring your confidence up. Not only are you going to learn from them,
That's
but you're
right.
just going to be around other people that have that courage and they're taking that action, and you're going to duplicate that. And that's why, I've loved the time we've had as a team when we've all come together because we're all so different but
Yeah.
we're very like-minded. And I think for anyone that's watching this, that's thinking of setting up a business, and everyone you're surrounded with is maybe employees, they've never had an entrepreneurial side,
Yeah.
then they may try and convince you not to go ahead with that, or they may try and look at the negative side. So definitely get to places where you're going to meet like-minded people, and reach out to us as a team as well. We're here to help and serve and give you advice if you need it.
Absolutely. I mean, like-mindedness is such a key factor. Okay, hi Darren, hi Mlenga. So basically, the people that you surround yourself with, basically feed the sort of energy that will be transferred to you. So if you surround yourself with positive people, as cliche as it sounds, you're going to be more of a positive person because it's energy that you're feeding on. Okay, if you surround yourself with negative people, guess what? You're going to have more of a negative mindset. The people that we surround ourselves with can determine in terms of how far we actually go in terms of our dreams and goals or achieve the success that we want to do. Because you've got to remember, people reflect their fears onto you. Okay, so I found, for example, when I was setting up, a lot of people are saying, well, actually, you don't have a fashion degree. You've never really done any textile sort of studies. What do you know about setting up a fashion label? Okay, so what the people that we're talking to were basically saying is they were reflecting some of the concerns that they had. So they were putting themselves in my shoes. So we're seeing things from their point of view in terms of actually, if I was going to set up a fashion label, how would I handle that? What are some of the challenges that I could face? So they were just voicing those opinions out and reflecting them onto me. But one of the key things you will learn and you will develop as you're thinking of starting up, or if you've already started something, it's the power of self-belief. So even at times where people don't really believe in you and people don't really see what you see, it's about having that courage to actually go ahead forward because you trust your instinct. You've got that gut feeling, obviously with good advice around you. That's also important. But then you go on for and again, do a lot of reading. Again, that's also key to make sure that you're obviously making the right decisions and you're planning things right. But certainly there's a lot of, when it comes to setting up and running your own business or whatever it is, it might not be a business, but you're thinking of just achieving your goals and your dreams. It's all about having that courage to give it a try, because what's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is either a person says no, it's either it doesn't work out, then that way anyway, you don't have a regret, but also it's a win situation because you've learned something. The most successful people in the world are people that are always learning from their failures. So people think success is all about, this. If you think of it as a graph, right? So you've got a graph like that, I should be drawing, and it goes that way. But actually, success is all about win-win, fail, 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 win-win, fail, win, fail, win, 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 fail, and it's like that. And so what people tend to see is they see more about the upward spiral all the fruits of your labor and the success that's coming in, but they don't see the week, the day in, day out, when one day you've not had a customer. But what they're looking at is the fact that you made £100 worth of sales end of the month. But actually, that £100 has come from Monday, you had no sales, Tuesday, no sales, Wednesday. So coming back to the point of making sure that you surround yourself with positive people, with people that will challenge you, challenge your mindset, the way you think, people that will challenge you to grow and to learn. One of the key things that people sometimes, even people, some people who've sort of been successful tend to fall for is that they stop learning because they think they know it all. So they stop reading, they stop taking advice on board. And what happens is they plateau. And so once you plateau, the only way is down, okay? Because obviously they've got to that point where they feel nobody can tell them anything, partly because of the environment that they surround themselves in, they're all arrogant or whatever. But the key thing to take from this is it's always important to surround yourself with people that will empower you, with people that will see the greatness in you, that will harness that greatness, that will make sure that you grow to achieve the best version of yourself. And also in times where nobody else is believing in what, and nobody else can see what you can see, it's about having that self-belief, that courage to actually carry on and go. There's one thing that people that have is they're a bit different. So they've got the ability to see things that other people cannot see. Okay, and that's one of the key things. Over to you, Michelle. Hi, Karen. Hi, Jane.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, statistically, so this has actually been proven. Statistically, you will become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So this is quite scary because when you think about it, it's the earnings, the mindset, the positivity or negativity, just everything, the success level. So firstly, think about who are the 5 people you spend the most time with, and are you happy being the average of all of them? And then again, maybe if you're not around super successful entrepreneurs, do not worry. What you need to do is make sure that every day you are fueling your mind with amazing people. So I love the app Audible. I have audiobooks playing all the time. So turn your commute into a university. So rather than just jumping in the car or jumping on the train, whatever you do, be learning all the time. Like Haggai says, be feeding your mind with advice, belief, with knowledge, so that you are surrounding yourself with those types of people. You know, I'm talking multi-millionaires and, you know, highly successful people. If they're going into your ears every single day, that is going to make a massive difference to you. And I just think when things aren't going right, and I loved the graph you were talking about, it's so true. It's about not looking through something right now that's maybe not working through a little straw, you know, and just putting all your focus on this isn't working, I'm failing. It's about stepping back, taking that vision bigger again, and just thinking about where you're going with it. And just don't focus, because when you step back in years to come, that will have just been a tiny little dip in the graph. And usually the biggest success happens after those dips, because you are forced to grow and you are forced to become better. So I actually think those setbacks are what make people. Over to you, Haggai.
Absolutely. Setbacks is such a key thing. You know, they help us develop character. They help us with the next challenge. You will find, hi Lewis, thank you. Please keep the questions coming. If you've got any questions, if you want to contribute, just keep them coming. Thank you, guys. You have to remember that people that are successful, they've had their challenges, and the more successful you are, the more responsibilities that you will take on. But life is funny, you know. The more that you want to grow as a person, the more life will test you. So you will definitely face some challenges. You will face some tough times. You will face where you're really questioning yourself to say, am I making the right decision here? Have I made the right decision? Because I've not actually had any new clients, I've not had any new sales, or actually there's no income coming in, and I've got kids to feed. And obviously I don't have a job anymore. So what do I need to do? So all these things are there to test us in life. And once you push through that and you focus, and you have that self-discipline, which is a point I want to make. Self-discipline is such a key point to enable you to achieve your version of success. It's all about starting with daily habits. So things like I personally do, I'm sure Michelle will probably agree with this, is I start from doing a to-do list. So I give myself daily tasks that I want to do. So I would say, okay, tomorrow I need to make sure that I at least put one. I don't need to do 100 of products on the website. So I just say, look, I need to do at least one product. Update the website, one product. That's to-do list done. I need to make sure that I spoke to a potential new client. That's another number 2. I need to make sure that I've done all my admin stuff. And so you create this to-do list in order to start developing and harnessing the self-discipline that you will need in times where things are really difficult, in times where you're facing those challenges and you're really doubting yourself because you've gone on for 3, 4, 5, 6 months without actually creating any real business. Okay, so any person who's actually really made it will tell you the struggle is ongoing. You know, you never really get to a point where you feel like actually I've made it. It's only other people that doesn't say, oh, you know what, Michelle, you've done really well. Oh, hi, guy. Oh, John, you've done really well. But actually, the challenges that we face are ongoing. But you've got to have that self-discipline and that courage that we're talking about. And with that, your confidence is obviously growing because you believe in yourself more, because you reflect back to a couple of weeks ago when you had that incident, or a customer came in, they grumbled about something, or you lost a client, and you had to come up with new ways to bring in new business or new ways to develop whatever it is that you're developing. So you've developed a new skill through those challenges that you've sort of faced. Okay, so challenges are healthy. It's a good thing. If anything, if you're not facing any challenges in your ideas and everything is smooth and sailing, I would really question your business. I would really question your ideas, because something is obviously not right. People that are doing, if you're facing challenges, you're facing barriers, that's a good thing, because you're growing as a person, you're learning from the challenges. It's like the person that invented the idea of an airplane, and the person that came up with the idea of the bulb. You know, do you know how many times they tried to do that? A couple hundred times before they actually came up with the real deal, what we've got as an airplane or as a light bulb. Okay, but the key thing is actually, you know, I always say this story. The person, for example, that invented the light bulb, you know, when the journalist actually asked him this question, which is I found quite fascinating, was that, so what do you say about all these different times that you've tried to invent the light bulb and nothing has actually worked? And he said, actually, you know what, I found out 99 different times of how to connect the wires and what we call as a light bulb not to work. And actually the 100th time that I got it correct was actually just discovering a new way in which to connect the wires, and actually we have what we call the light bulb. So it just depends on your perspective on things, and that comes around to the people that you surround yourself with, the energy that you're feeding, the sort of information that you're feeding yourself, the type of books that you're reading, the sort of advice that you're taking on board, the company that you're keeping. That all plays a factor in terms of the way you deal with the challenges that you face. So if you find in, guys, difficulty, or you're finding your ideas a bit challenging, that's okay. Like everybody does it. Just seek advice, read about it, do ask us questions or whatever. I mean, we'll try and answer them to the best of our knowledge. But yeah, it's absolutely normal. But the key thing is you've got to have the courage to actually do something. You've got to have the courage to do something, the ability to do. Remember, guys, we said. You've got to have and then from there, once you actually get up and start doing stuff, then you learn from your mistakes. And things will happen for you never know, and your version of success will happen. Like boom, yo.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I think if you're going to make, stories in your head about how things are going to go, then make it a good one. Like, don't think about the negative outcome, think about the good one. And I love what you're saying about challenges because I just think we need to be comfortable at getting uncomfortable because when we're uncomfortable and we have the challenges, that's when the biggest growth's happening. So it's not a bad thing. And totally agree with you on daily methods of operation. Like nailing that is so important. And I spent too long being inconsistent in my business. I know I'd be in a different place now if I was consistent in my daily method of operation. And
Yeah,
once you know what those few tasks are that you must do every day, the results will start to come, but also your self-worth will start to grow because you're actually sticking at something and you're
yeah,
going to do it every day, whether you feel like it or not. And I think that is one of the biggest things I've learned over the years. Successful people do it when they don't feel like it.
absolutely.
You'll know as a new dad guy, and
Hi,
I've got three
Charlie.
little kids, and I'm expecting at the moment. There are days when you just don't feel like it, but at least do that one main thing.
Yeah.
But if you can do three things, a day, a year from now, everything's going to look different.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, it's success. It's the little bits of success that you've had on a week, on a day-to-day basis, on an hour to bit. You know, that's what when you aggregate them, that's what shows is that success and stuff. So, just to remind you guys, welcome. Hi, Charlene. Hi, Gracio. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to interact if you've got anything that you think you want us to answer, by all means, just do ask the questions. Um, but yeah, so that's sort of the main thing in terms of success. Success. Sometimes people just look at the fruits of, oh, it's so and so person, you know, has just bought a private jet, or they live in this, they just bought this big house, or this whatever their version of success is, this big car. Well, you know, everybody's version of success is different. Other people, it's family. Other people, it's money. Whatever it is, you know, we're not here to judge. But the point is, all these versions of success, they don't happen overnight. It's like I'll give you another story of this guy who's he's a grime artist in the UK and a comedian. Recently, he brought out this hit called "Man's Not Hot." I don't know if you've heard of it before. It's called "Man's Not Hot." It became really popular, right? And then there's also the other one, the kid who in America who brought out the floss thing, and everybody's now doing the floss. You know, and that's also another wonder. But the key interesting thing, actually, if you dig deep into the history, that little kid and the guy that brought it, Man's Not Hot, they've actually been doing stuff on YouTube for a long time. And tell you how many views they had for one of their videos: 5 views, 10 views. And it took one moment, okay, like that kid on Floss when he was in American football, whatever, people to snap him, and that was it. And that moment of all the time, all those years that he had actually been doing all that, it took that one special moment for everybody to recognize the floss, and everybody's now doing it. The guy who did Man's Not Hot, again, it took that moment on him going on radio, which a Charlie Sloth, I think it was, for people to actually recognize about him. But actually, he's been doing stuff on the groundworks. He had a lot of rejections. Radio stations didn't want to know. But now people think it's an overnight success. But actually, there's an understory, you know, the journey of how far he's come, the rejections and the no's that he's had throughout his life. And the point is, you know, if you are in a position where you're trying and you're hustling, you're grinding, you're getting rejections, things are not working out, you know, just keep it. Resilience is key. Carry on doing what you're doing and things will work out. Because it takes one moment. You never know who's watching. You never know who's, you know, who you're talking to. You never know what life will bring across your path. Just be consistent, be resilient, and things will work out. You know, even if I had a business, for example, it took me 6 months, 6 to 9 months to actually get one customer. One customer. You know, I actually thought, what am I doing with my life? I'm saying too many bumyeos, you know. It took me 6 months to 9 months to get one customer, and he wasn't a friend, he wasn't a family member, he was a complete stranger who just out of the blues just I saw this thing ping through my email, you got a sale. And I was like, what? And I looked up the name and I had no idea who this person from Australia was. And that was it. And that was the kickstart of everything, you know. And from there, we started growing. But sometimes when people say, oh, Hagai, you're really doing well. But actually, no, there was once upon a time when I'd gone months without any sales and nobody wanted to know about Habit Business and everybody thought Bumye is a nuisance and all the rest of it. We all go through that. But the key thing is to just make sure that you are resilient, you're courageous enough to face those challenges, you know, and just have that self-belief and so on and so forth. So, yeah. Hi, Mike. Hi, Martin. Good stuff.
Hi everyone, jumping on.
Yeah.
I don't know how long we've been talking, Haggai, but for anyone that's just jumping on, we're chatting about courage over confidence.
Yeah.
And a little story as well. So there's an amazing lady who coaches me in my business. So she's quite local, and she mentors me, and see her once a month. And she she started in social marketing like 10 years ago, and she was so shy. She had 156 no's to what she was sharing. And the difference is she kept plugging away, she kept learning, and she stuck around. She was the constant. People knew that she was a lifer and that she was going to make this work. She then started to see some success, and it absolutely skyrocketed over the next few months after 18 months of just nothing. And she had to be hypnotized to speak at an event. She was being awarded for her success, and she had to have lots of hypnotism so she could actually stand up and speak. And I think public speaking is one of the biggest fears, and it was definitely one of mine doing what I do now. But she had the courage and did it and did something about it, I think, and just stuck at it. And she is now the highest income earner in my company in the whole of the UK, and she couldn't even speak to a room of people when she started. So it is just keep going and ask us for help. And even if you're watching the replay, feel free to inbox and comment questions, because we will get back to you. We'll figure out who in the team can advise you best, and we'll support you. I'm just trying to think what I can end with before I pass over to you, Haggai. I think the biggest thing I would leave you with is there's never a good time. If not now, when?
Yeah.
Because there really never is a good time in life. Like, stuff always comes up, doesn't it? Like, if you think about the last 5 years, all the things that have happened in your lives, for anyone watching, like there would never have been a perfect time to start. But once you get going, get that daily method of operation, you're on your way, totally. I'll pass over to you, Haggai, if you've got any final last words.
In the comments, guys, just want to say thank you again for tuning in and watching us today. There'll be more content stuff that we're going to be talking about in the next couple of weeks. If you've got any burning topics and things that you want us to discuss and advise or whatever, please do message us. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. Key thing to remember is that courage is the ability to do. Confidence is the belief or the feeling to actually be able to do something. So we'll leave you with that. We are starting something here. We've got the characters. You look at our cameras, the amateurish cameras, but we're starting. So you will see the version of success in reality actually happen as we go along, and things improve and get better. So yeah, give it a go. If you've got a burning dream, ideas that you guys want to go for, definitely go for it. And we'll see you soon. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Bye-bye.